Hey, it's Laura.
It's Amanda.
And we are Moms on a Mission,
where faith, motherhood, and purpose come together.
We're not just raising children, we're raising disciples, striving to make an eternal impact in our homes and beyond.
Here, we choose grace over guilt, progress over perfection, and God's truth over the world's noise.
Together, we'll encourage, uplift, and equip one another to walk boldly in our calling as mothers on a mission.
So, grab your coffee, take a deep breath, and let's dive into this journey of faith-filled motherhood, one step, one prayer, and one mission at a time. Welcome back to Moms on a Mission. It's been a hot minute since we've been on the podcast. We had to miss a week. Life was lifing for everybody here, and now we're back. So
Yes,
this
we
is
are.
going to be what, 23? Episode 23?
This is it. This is the Michael Jordan episode.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Number 23.
She's so clever. I'm not that clever.
I love the number 23. In fact, it's my second favorite number. 18 is my first. Maddox was born on the 23rd.
So I'm a 23rd baby too.
All right.
Yep, February 23rd.
I love it.
We'll leave the year out. Thank you very much.
For now.
Yeah, for now. I'm really just kidding about that because I've actually thought about doing a whole episode about like how we feel about age. And well, actually we have dug into that some.
A little bit, yeah.
Of like, for like, I don't, age does not bother me. I don't think that it is a bad thing at all.
Doesn't bother me one bit.
Yeah, so that, I was just joking about that. But anyways.
But I'm still not going to tell you what year I was
but we're still
born.
not, no, I'm just kidding. Anywho, we talk about all the time, we're flirting with 40.
Yep.
So
I'm a little closer than you are.
you can't be that much closer. You got a birthday coming up, don't you?
Next month. Yep. I'm an
Awesome.
October baby.
Is that the big 40?
It's 39. I got one to go.
But your hubby is the big 40.
We're T-minus 30 days. Yep. We sure are.
I
He's not
love
happy
it.
about it. He's more phased by age than I ever will be.
But I have heard things and biblical references too of like 41. That's a
Yes.
big biblical number.
Big number.
And people have said, I watched this video, it wasn't terribly long ago, and the lady was like, listen, if you are in those mid to late 30s and you're having like a rough time or there's things going on in your life, she was like, don't worry. 41 is coming.
Yep.
Yes,
I knew you were going to
loved
say that. Yep.
I thought that was so cool.
Absolutely.
Yep. All right. So today we've just been kind of poking and prodding at some subjects lately. And this one is another one that is a little bit of a sensitive subject, but I feel like is huge right now, especially for moms, parents, people that are in that like 30 and 40
range.
Yeah, those 2 decades. There's some stuff there. And so today we're going to talk about about the subject of alcohol.
Yep.
Drinking and alcohol use and, just that whole subject matter and kind of what's going on in our culture with it and how it's affecting that, generation.
Yes.
So we'll see how it goes. To me, it feels like a touchy subject. I don't think it should be necessarily. But
I think people are going to be pleasantly surprised with some of the statistics that you have to share.
Oh yeah, and I pulled more since we talked.
Oh, okay.
I pulled
all right.
some more, so it's pretty.
They're all
wild.
still trending in the same way, though?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, I think some people are just going to be shocked.
Probably, I
by
think
it.
so too.
Yeah.
And I'll have to tell you about my wild weekend that
Oh,
led
yeah.
us to this subject matter.
Yes. Yep, you will have to share that.
All right, so let's kick off with a prayer. Do you have one, or you want me to go?
I've got one.
Okay, let's hear it.
All right. Lord, I come before you today with grateful hearts. Thank you for this opportunity to gather and talk about an important and sometimes difficult subject. Lord, we know that our bodies are temples of the Holy Spirit, and we desire to honor you with every choice we make. Give us wisdom as we discuss the effects of alcohol and what your word says about living sober-minded and spirit-filled lives. May this conversation encourage moms to lean on you in moments of stress, joy, or sorrow, and not on anything that pulls them away from your presence. We ask that you guide our words, soften our hearts, and let everything we say today bring you glory. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Amen.
So,
Do you want to start with how we got to this topic?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So, okay. This past week was mine and my husband's 14th wedding anniversary.
Woo woo.
We decided, we've been talking about somewhere to go and taking a little trip and things like that for months.
Yeah.
Months. But we never booked anything. We had my mother-in-law coming to stay with the kids. She was awesome. She's like, sure, I'll be there. Changed her plans, came down to hang out with the kids. Well, she gets there late Saturday night. We still do not have a destination in mind.
But are leaving on Sunday.
Yes, we were like, all right, we're just going to go somewhere. Like, there's plenty of places around here that we love or could go visit, or, we live in the mountains. Like,
Right.
there's plenty.
This is a destination.
Right.
Yeah.
We could go anywhere. So that was kind of the plan. And then it was like, well, not too long ago, we were tipped off to the cheap flights that fly out of Asheville and Greenville on Allegiant Airline. So we were like, maybe we'll just
give it a shot.
Do that. We'll just go toward one of the smaller airports and see where life takes us.
Yeah.
Well, so we had signed up to serve Sunday morning. So we're like, all right, we're not going to leave Saturday night. We're going to go serve Sunday morning. We'll play it by ear. We'll leave sometime Sunday. Well, we get to church. We're, sitting there, and my oldest, Abel, he's waiting to go into discipleship. So he's sitting with me behind the counter at the registration desk. And he's like, where are you going? I'm like, I don't really know. He's like, oh my gosh, just pick something. We're like, I don't really know. We'll see. We're just going to drive toward the airport. He gets on line. He's like, you could go to Key West today. Cheap.
In a couple hours.
Yeah. And we're like, all right, let's do it. So we book a flight. We have to leave like in the middle of our service. We were supposed to be, I abandoned the registration desk. Matt took his mic off and we left.
Peace out, Cub Scouts.
We left. We had to meet up with my mother-in-law later. So we kind of abandoned her at church. It was a very last minute.
Spur of the moment.
Let's get out of here.
Indeed.
Yes. By the time we left, I love our church family. The whole lobby is like, bye, see you later.
Toodles.
Then my mother-in-law calls just a few minutes after we walk out. She's like, did you already leave?
Sure did.
We're like, yes, we're really sorry. She's like, I found out from the coffee bar that I had to come home really quickly.
I love that.
Sorry. So anyway, she was awesome about it. She got there. She's like, go, leave, go. We pack a bag. We get on the road, go to Asheville. We hop on a flight to Key West. We get to Key West and we have this, in my mind, Key West is beautiful. It is tropical. There's palm trees and white sand beaches everywhere.
Yep. Out on a island with...
Let me tell you what there's not in Key West. Any of those things. There are...
Which is surprising to me because I have this same vision in my head about Key West.
Yeah, all the keys. I'm like, you go to a Florida Key and you're going to get a tropical experience.
Not so much.
No, that is not the case. There is water around the island and you can see the water, but there's concrete barriers between you and the water in everywhere. There's two small little beaches that, you can go and hang out at or whatever. Other than that, it's not like that. It's a town. There's a college there. There's a huge downtown. Okay. And this is where the alcohol comes in because when we get to Key West, we end up meeting up with some family. They live in Florida. They were down there they have a kid going to college in the College of the Keys studying marine biology.
Did you know this ahead of time that they were going to be there?
No, we found out that afternoon that they were there at the same time. So anyway, we get there and we all are we end up meeting up and we're like, where's the beaches? They're like, well, it's kind of not like that. There's really, cool downtown and all this kind of stuff, but it's not the tropical paradise that you guys apparently thought that it was. And we're like, all right. So, and we want to have dinner, with our family and all that. So we meet them downtown, and they had a cute little place on another part of the island. Well, it starts to become a reality to me that, like, Matt and I go out to eat, fairly often. We will stop by places and have dinner on Sunday afternoon. We have dinner after a ball game, whatever. But like actually going out and like hanging out like on a downtown strip and all that, we just don't do that a whole lot anymore. We used to in college. We would go out and, hang out with our friends and meet up with everybody, but we don't do that anymore. And so we were kid free this past weekend. We go out and there's not this beach that we thought we were going to be hanging out on all weekend. So
Right.
we have to find other stuff to do. And the reality starts to set in really quickly. This is like not our scene anymore.
Yeah, we've aged out of this.
Yeah. This
Yeah.
like the downtown, the party scene, the kind of like bar hopping thing. We're like, and it wasn't an age thing. It was just like, what do we
What do we do?
what do we do? Like, okay, we've eaten. We can only eat so much
Yeah.
even if you're gonna kind of go and do like an appetizer here and all this, you can only do that so much. And like, you want to see the town and you want to see places, and we want to hang out and be with other people and family, and and just walk around and enjoy each other. But in the past, there was always maybe a glass of wine, or we stopped and had a cocktail, but now it's different.
Yeah.
And it's not, I'm not saying like I do not drink. I'm not saying that, because I like to have a glass of wine occasionally, or I did. Honestly, I almost can't anymore because it hurts my body.
Oh, yes.
I get headaches. I get terrible headaches from wine. It just doesn't sit the same.
Yeah.
And it was just really kind of a gut punch that I was like, do I not know how to have fun anymore? Like, if I'm out having fun, but I'm not carrying a drink around in my hand.
Alcohol free.
Yeah.
Alcohol free fun.
Is it mental? Because I was having fun. It wasn't that I wasn't enjoying myself. I was. So in my mind, is this just a mental thing? Is it almost like if you're a smoker,
Right.
like the whole having something in your hand and in your fingers and
The act of,
hand to mouth, that's a big thing for smokers. And so is it that? Like, it was just like this dose of like a huge, huge dose of reality of like, I don't know what to do with myself at this point. I'm like, I feel awkward almost.
Yeah.
And we were having a good time, but I kind of felt almost like an outsider, like not with my family, but just being out in general. It's like, there was so many people out too. Like, I mean, yeah, it was a holiday weekend, but it was like the end of the holiday weekend. And there was still so many people out and, just partying and having a good time. And I was just like, I feel weird.
Yeah. No, I get that. I can't tell you the last year that I even had an alcoholic beverage. Several years ago.
Yeah.
And I take a lot of pride in that, knowing that my kids don't see us drink. And I have relayed to them on many occasions, if somebody, and again, I think we've kind of aged out of this, but if somebody needs to call for a ride,
Oh, yes.
100% of the time you can call me, because I'm sober 100% of the time,
Yep.
which is great. Doesn't mean that I didn't have my moments, or that Josh and I didn't used to do the same thing before kids. I also know that I have an extremely addictive personality. And there is definitely some alcohol abuse that runs in our family.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just one of those things that I've never wanted to toy with.
Yeah.
Because I just feel like I'd be setting myself up for disaster.
My grandma felt the same way. Her daddy was, he was a real heavy drinker, and it just scared her to death. She did not even want it like by her lips, because it just scared her so bad.
Now, I think the good thing that I have going for me, though, is that quite literally different drinks, they hurt my stomach.
Yeah.
I can't drink anything dark. Hurts my stomach. Anything super fruity and sweet hurts my stomach. Wine, headache. And I'm
Yes.
like, this is what's not fun, is the after
Yeah.
effects. So no thank you. I can just do without. But with your research, I think it's going to be surprising that you're not alone in this,
Yeah.
alternate fun experiences and outings and whatnot. And I still even find myself, if I'm going to go and do something with girlfriends or whatever, it's typically brunch, lunch, or a dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's even things like we'll go walk around, whatever, TJ Maxx.
Yeah.
We'll go walk around, downtown Clarksville and pop into the different shops and stores and stuff. But I would love to reiterate that, and I tell my kids this all the time, that Christians have more fun and less scars. And if you're
Mm.
not having more fun, you're not doing it right. And so that is
I
something that I want
love
to pass
that.
along. More fun, less scars. And I think that's, even prevalent here with
Yeah.
with drinking, because we all know how bad things can get if you abuse alcohol, either to yourself,
Mm-hmm.
or the effects of somebody out on the road.
Yeah.
If you wrecked, and the overwhelming statistics are that if you're the one that's driving under the influence, you typically sustain less injuries
Yes.
because you're in that relaxed state. So when you crash, you just don't get affected the same way that the other person in the scenario gets
Yeah.
affected.
Yeah. The
And
other person might lose their life, and
yes,
you face a charge
you
for
can
that on
you
top of everything else.
yeah, but physically, sometimes you walk away without a scratch.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and this kind of relates to some other things that kind of reminds me of. You mentioned kids, which that is something that I've always wanted to make clear to my kids, but honestly, I obviously am kind of struggling with that of like you just because you're hanging out with someone or going out to have fun, that doesn't mean that it has to include alcohol.
Right.
Like, and I don't know why this, like, and I don't realize when it kind of got into my head of like, oh, they went out for drinks, or we, went to a game, and, it was just always there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. And so, but like, I don't want my kids to think that, oh, we're going out somewhere, so this is what it includes, or we're hanging out with somebody, so it has to include having drinks.
Right.
The same thing for me too, though, kind of even with food. It's like we meet up and we have a meal, but then like I don't know. It's like, okay, but once you're full,
Again,
if you're not gonna have drinks,
yeah,
like
that's it.
yeah, like what, like, and all of this was just kind of a big reality check for me, because as we're there, I thought we were gonna kind of be exploring and this, new place to look at. There really wasn't a whole lot to look at. And it was like, okay, there's shopping. Well, I'm not a big shopper.
Yeah.
There was a few museums and stuff, but I felt like there were kind of like a little bit of a money pit,
Oh yeah.
which you guys know I struggle with. Or going out for food and drinks. And
Yeah.
it was like, what are we gonna do? Like, like and then we ended up going to like Fort Zachary and walking around that fort, and we saw they did have a pretty little, like, tiny little beach area there, and we took some pictures, and um I got 15,000 steps in one day.
Wow.
Because we walked from one side of the island to the other, because we were just like looking at stuff, like, so I don't know, but
it plays into, even like you said, other, trying to think of other things to do. It's college football season now,
right.
and I love sports. I specifically love college football.
Mm-hmm.
As much as I love the game and the Georgia Bulldogs,
Mm-hmm.
I would much rather sit right here and watch a game at my house, because I don't have to deal with the drunk, obnoxious fans.
Okay, I'm so glad you made this point. Okay, we actually got to go to the game last week, first game of the season.
But it was a day game.
It was a day game, yes.
So you took your kids.
Yes.
Like, I'm not
yes.
taking my kids to a night game.
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't experienced a night game. Any games I've been to have been day games. But so we go to the first UGA game last week. We are on our way in, and there are a lot of young people, and they're like screaming and yelling and stumbling. And we got to have a conversation about it, because it was like, yeah, that when you lose control and you take it too far, that's what happens. I mean, there's one, she looked like a dead body.
Yeah.
They're dragging her into the game. And it was like, yeah, so they get to see this part of it, and so.
Which is a great example of that's too much.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And so, so there was good conversation around that. And I thought, this is college life.
Yeah.
This is what they're going to experience. They may even be a part of it. I pray that they're not, but it's so prevalent. However, God is so good. We're on our way home. This is in my mind. I'm thinking almost a little bit dreadful. Like, my kids want to go to big schools, both of them. One wants to do UGA, one wants to do tech. And I'm thinking, this is going to be their life. This is what they will experience and be around. Well, we get in the car. We're on the way home. I start the scroll, and lo and behold, I see this is what my college did for opening weekend. Praise and worship concert.
Oh, very cool.
Thousands of kids out on the lawn. They're raising their hands. They're praising. They're worshiping. And I was like, yes.
That one.
And it's not even necessarily, doesn't have to be the school, although putting yourself in the right environment helps you like 100-fold. But you don't necessarily have to be a part of the group that was dragging the girl in.
Right.
Like, you could be a part of that group, and they were still at the game. I'm sure, like, those people are at the game too.
Absolutely,
you
they
just
are.
don't necessarily pay attention to them because they're not running around screaming, acting insane, or dragging bodies in.
Yeah.
So that, like, healed my heart a little, because I was like, my kids, I'm knowingly putting them in this situation. So that was kind of okay, Mama, well, I got to work on making sure that they are with the right people, and they do know the right people. And this is just a choice. It's not who you have to be with. You can choose that crowd or not.
And
okay.
I think that'll all, it'll show in time that they were raised the right way by you and Matt, because their decisions in the years to come will absolutely speak for themselves.
I hope so.
Because I feel the same way, but I'm not like riddled with anxiety about it, because I know that we are doing our best to instill in them, you guys got to make good decisions.
Yes.
You have to make good decisions. And I think that they will. Not 100% of the time.
Right.
But overall, I think they'll be good decision makers.
I think too, just like the conversation around it, I think that is big. Like, I don't hide that kind of stuff. Like, I want them to be aware of, like,
that's what can happen.
Yeah. Like, so I do think just being aware and being open about that kind of stuff, it does like, okay, we've been over this, you know?
Yeah. Unfortunately, a couple years ago, we flew out to Missouri to a Garth Brooks concert, and Josh actually threw his back out before we ever got to the property in Missouri at Big Cedar Lodge. And so Maddox and I tackled the concert by ourselves. It was the brand new venue that was open at Big Cedar. Beautiful venue. But this was the very first concert weekend there. So nobody been there before. Nobody knew the parking situation, how to navigate your way around. And I'm telling you, by yourself with your 9-year-old was challenging.
Yeah.
And of course, there was alcohol served. We had a great seat. We had a great time. We were on the lawn, but we were the front row of the lawn. And so we had a great time, but leaving, literally, we watched somebody get picked up and body slammed on the concrete.
Oh.
And, open wounds, bleeding profusely. And I will never forget, like, him just kind of turning and looking up with me with these big eyes. And he said, we bought like cheap $10 blankets from Walmart to sit on the lawn with. And so we'd left with them. And he was like, I'm going to take her my blanket. And I said, okay. And he went and offered it to her, just if she wanted to put it over her head, because it was bad. to walk off with, and they said no thanks, and they kept going. And he came back, and he was just like visibly distraught
Mm-hmm.
over what he just saw. And I was like, honey, I said, there's no other way to explain this to you other than that is a prime example of what it looks like when when you drink too much, when you take alcohol too far, when you
Yeah.
don't use it correctly. Um, and that's, I hate that you just saw that in real time,
Yeah.
but that's the effects that it can have.
Mm-hmm.
Not always, but that's like one of the worst case scenarios.
Yeah.
And I think that was a pretty pivotal moment in time for him to like actually see, oh,
Yeah.
well,
That'll stick with him.
that didn't look like fun.
That will stick with him for sure. And
Yeah.
it does kind of bring me to our verses because, alcohol is in the Bible, which I think is very confusing for some people, for people, and not some people, for people in general, because there's wine people drink in the Bible. Like the Catholic Church, they actually drink wine in church. Like it's
Part
not
of
juice.
communion.
A lot of us drink juice, but the Catholics for communion, it is wine. And so like to me, I think it's confusing, but exactly what you said of like taking it too far. And the Bible talks about like losing control. So like there's some on here, like on some of my notes, alcohol is not inherently sinful. The Bible does not forbid alcohol altogether. Wine was part of Jewish culture and is even used in celebration and worship. John 2 says Jesus' first miracle was turning water into wine at the wedding in Cana. And then Psalm 104, God gives wine that gladdens human hearts. So like, it's there, it's spoken about, but then but drunkenness
Yeah.
is that's where you cross the line. And so Ephesians 5, do not get drunk on wine, which leads to debauchery. Instead, be filled with the Spirit. Proverbs 20, wine is a mocker and beer a brawler. Whoever is led astray by them is not wise. And then Isaiah 5, woe to those who rise early in the morning to run after their drinks. Absolutely, woe to those. That's a hard one.
I have a reference here from 1 Peter 5:8. Be sober minded and be watchful. Your adversary, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion.
Yes.
And yes, he does.
Yes.
But again, you're also we're talking about drunkenness,
Yes.
not just like casual consumption at this point. This
Right.
is drunkenness.
But it's like
It does. I mean, one
there's-
leads to the other.
Yes. And it's like there's no like clear line.
Yeah.
And I think we probably start off, like if you started off drinking somewhere, it was probably just because other people were doing it around you. And maybe you were like, I want to like feel comfortable,
Yeah, wanna
like
fit
you're
in.
nervous
Yeah.
and you want to just like chill enough to, fit in, like you said. But then everything goes blurry. All the lines get
Yep.
blurred.
And then they are just not there anymore.
Yes.
And what I wanted to say too is one of the statements that is such a pet peeve of mine is, I need a drink.
Yes.
No. I want a drink. I'm choosing a
Yes.
drink. Nobody needs a
Mm-mm.
drink.
That puts something in your head too. I need a drink. That's an immediate. You have just tied stress and drinking together.
Yep.
And it's not a fix. It might feel like a fix when, for a hot minute, but then
That's a slippery
it's-
slope.
Yeah, it is not a fix. It makes everything worse.
Yep. And it, of course, affects physical, relational, and spiritually would be, of course, impairing judgment, addiction, health issues.
Mm-hmm.
Relationally, strained marriages. That there are so many instances where either alcohol abuse, substance abuse kind of in general,
Mm-hmm.
is financial too, but a marriage strain.
Yeah.
Just in general, it's an unhealthy coping mechanism, poor example for your children. And I thought this was a great point as well. Spiritually, it can dull your sensitivity to the Holy Spirit, weaken your prayer life, and open doors to temptations.
Mm-hmm.
And I would agree with all those.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially like if there's like guilt around that, or like the next day factor, that does affect your relationship with God.
Mhm.
If you're feeling guilty about something like that, it hurts it strains it. And you can talk to him about it. He knows, he gets it, he understands, he's there, but it is something that it's like there's a wedge that's
Yeah.
in the way. That's how I feel about it
Yeah.
anyway. It's like okay, back to square one, or and it's not necessarily even about drunkenness. It's just like, for me, it's not something that I want to do. So like if I go somewhere and I'm like, oh, sure, I'll have a glass of wine. Then the next day I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Well,
I feel
like,
terrible.
yes, I've got a headache, my body hurts, and I have this like guilt factor, even though scripturally I didn't lose control. I had a glass of wine with my dinner. Someone offered it to me, and sure, but it's in my heart. I'm like, why
Yeah.
did you do that?
Yeah.
We've talked about this.
Yep. Which means it's working, because if you're feeling convicted, then
Yes.
you're on the right path.
Yeah. I'm like, sorry. I don't know.
Dumb. That was dumb.
Yeah. So there's factor. Our bodies belong to God. Our bodies are our temples. He, blessed us with our bodies. And then, so there's these cool statistics, which you,
Oh, yes. Yep.
you touched on, which it's really cool to me, but I have kind of seen some action, seen it in real time. Alcohol consumption among U.S. adults has declined to a record low of 54%, the lowest since Gallup began. I don't even know what that is. I guess that's what it was referenced. That's the like group that tracks this. So that began in 1939. So it's down 54% since they started tracking this, down 58% in 2024 and 62% in 2023. So it kind of sounds like we're almost trending a little bit back upward. But for younger adults aged 18 to 34, drinking rates have dropped from 59% in 2023 to just 50% in 2025.
And do you think that goes hand in hand with all of this revival that you're seeing?
Probably.
I think it does.
Probably. Because really, truly, I think especially like if in a younger generation, that college age is usually when you either go left or right.
Yeah.
You're either going to consume or you just don't consume. So that probably that kind of sets up kind of a trend or a pathway. I feel like,
Yeah,
because if it was part of your life, then it's probably a part of your life in some way or another as you continue to age. If it was never a part of your life when it could have started in that 21 area, why would it become
probably not going
later?
To pick it up later?
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
More than 53% of Americans now believe that even moderate drinking, like 1 to 2 drinks a day, is harmful, a significant shift from roughly 25 to 28% who held that view a decade or so ago.
Wow.
Yeah, that is crazy. Like, that's wild to me.
Okay, so if you're watching at this point, I want to hear the feedback. Like, are you surprised by these statistics as well?
Absolutely.
Because I was.
Yes, I was too. In fact, I had to fact check, and I mean, I looked it up on a couple of other sites, but I saw it in like a Facebook feed or something, and it said alcohol consumption's down 54%, and I was like, is that true?
Yeah. Let me cross-reference that.
Yes. So like I looked it up in other places. 40% reported not drinking in over a week. Also the highest such figures in decades.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Like, so yes, there's
something going on.
All this revival, there's moving being made.
In the right direction.
Yes. Yes.
We're going in the right direction.
Which it gives me hope because, you know, I guess, I don't know. I just kind of, you picture college kids and I think of like drunk
Yep.
fraternity dudes like jumping off stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know why, but that's like the immediate picture that pops into my head, and that's doesn't necessarily have to be the case.
Nope.
That's a choice. It's not the thing. It's just one way that you can act in college.
Absolutely.
Um
And which
and
is prevalent, by the way. So this is not just like you just pulled this out of thin air.
yeah,
I think we've seen these on a number of
I walked past it
occasions.
last Friday or Saturday. Like,
They were
yeah.
jumping off of stuff too?
Well, no, but it was clear that does happen.
Oh,
There's
okay.
like all this like stuff in the like yard, and some of the like frat houses are like fenced off, and
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
just like you look at it and you're like, yeah.
Yeah,
Like
that's
whatever movie that came from that I saw that in, that's
where it was filmed.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, so like it's definitely still happening, but it's not necessarily the only thing happening. It's down a huge amount, which, like I said, is very surprising to me. I had no idea. But my mom and stepdad, they do my stepdad actually works alongside the Citadel in South Carolina.
Oh,
He's
okay.
like a mentor there.
Yeah.
And he has said, and even he's like, I've seen trends in like my grandchildren's generation. I've seen it with the kids that I work alongside with. He's like, there's a lot of them that don't drink,
That's awesome.
that will celebrate, their milestones and things like that. And they're like, oh, we don't drink. And he's like, when I was that age, that was
The thing to
not the
do.
way.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. And he's like, so many of these, they're in their 20s. He's like, so many of them. They're like, oh no, we don't drink.
That's
Like,
awesome.
it's so cool.
That's
I love
awesome.
it. So for us, like that 30, 40 age range,
What are we doing?
what do we do?
What are we doing? I think we've kind of, and Josh and I have never been ones that have gone out and sat at bars and all of this. Like, I refuse to ever do that, honestly. But I think we've replaced it with, we go to concerts, which, can still have an alcohol vibe to it, or be an environment that serves and whatnot. But we go to a lot of Christian concerts, so there's not there.
Yes.
Um,
Okay, I've always wondered that. I haven't been to a Christian concert. Not yet.
We went to Casting Crowns, and there was no alcohol served. We went last year to Toby Mac. I don't think the bar was open there. For King and Country, no.
So no.
Yeah.
In general, no.
At least not where we walked past to get to our seats, where it would
Interesting.
normally be for like a sporting event.
Right.
If there was a central location that served, maybe somewhere else in the arena,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see that.
Huh.
But like typically like the little carts that are off to the side,
Right.
is like those were shut down and unmanned. So we're going to Brandon Lake next month. So we're all going to Brandon Lake next month. So we'll report back and let you know if they served any alcohol in Duluth.
Yeah. Yes.
I don't think that they will. My gut feeling is I don't think that they will.
I can't like really picture that going over well, but I just was like, maybe
those
venues get to like, they have a lot of say.
Yeah.
So I didn't know for sure, but yeah, we will have to find that out. So
That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna replace going out with going to the Brandon Lake concert next month.
Yeah. Well, and like what's really cool too, I think we've talked a little bit about this. There's like people that are starting to like develop what do you call experiences that would in the past have involved alcohol and now they don't. So like there's a group out of Nashville. They're like 20 something group of guys. They have started club experiences. So you go to a club, a dance club, but there's no alcohol served and the music is not nasty. It sounds the same, but it's worship music. So everyone's sober, but the like the lights are the same, the experience is the same. There's tons of people there, you're shoulder to shoulder, you're dancing, all this stuff, but it's alcohol free
Hmm.
and they are not dirty rap songs.
And you mentioned Nashville. Is that where you said it's at?
They're out of Nashville, yeah, but I think they've been like going around the country and like creating these
Oh, okay.
experiences.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's in Nashville now. That was it. Ashley McBride that just opened a bar that is like an alcohol free
Okay, that's a big thing right now
bar
too.
zone.
Mocktails.
Yeah.
That is, there's mocktails on a ton of menus now.
Oh, okay.
Feels the same, looks the same, still has the sweet whatever, but there's no booze
alcohol.
in it.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, that's a big thing right
I
now
can get
too.
on board for that.
In fact, I was at Aldi the other day and I saw these little, they look like small, almost like beer bottles, but they were like clear glass.
Mm-hmm.
Imported from Italy is what it says, like 4 ingredients. It was a mocktail.
Ah,
Absolutely delicious.
was it?
Yeah.
Huh.
It was a little on the sweet side, bubbly, could have been like a cranberry vodka something, but it wasn't. It was a little like
Just a cranberry
mocktail.
something.
Yeah. It was really good.
That's awesome.
So like I guess that kind of does this part of it. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like
Yeah.
just the mental connection. I don't know. But this is like my last point here is what really I thought was pretty cool. Now, and I guess it's because the numbers are so strong. There are people and groups that are creating these things for like adults to do. They are sober groups.
Oh, okay.
Just saw this on my feed like, I don't know, maybe a week ago. They are, and it could be like you are trying to get sober. So you need stuff to do and people to meet up with who are not consuming. Or could be that you're just a sober person. You've been sober forever and you want to have some friends to go out with. Because, like, let's face it, even if we are like, okay, we go to a restaurant, but we're not drinking. But again, we can only eat so much. Well, and you're also at a restaurant. So if you are trying to like be, healthy, watch your calories, I'm not drinking. Well, I can't go to 5 restaurants and have fried food here and, pasta here. Like, okay, so we can't eat together. We can't drink together. What are we going to like? Oh, let's go do yoga maybe. I don't know, so these people, I guess they felt kind of the same way. Like, so they do outdoor gatherings, creative meetups like art nights, cooking, coffee shops, socials, wellness events, faith-based options like worship nights, Bible studies, service projects. And like this sober community thing, I was like,
That's
oh my
neat.
word. I think that's so cool. Of course you can find groups of people. Like they go out and do stuff. Like yes, you can find them, especially at your church. But it was just like, it just kind of like hit me a different way because they were like, this is sober activities.
Right,
There's
You're gonna go ahead and remove the temptation of it
Yes.
altogether.
Yeah.
I like
and
that.
Yeah. I was like, okay. So like there's other people out there that also feel like they're kind of maybe in this weird interim of like,
What do I do?
yeah. Like I want to hang out with people, but are they going to want to hang out with me?
Yeah. Does somebody think that I'm not super fun and exciting because
Right.
I'm not going to drink alcohol? Because first of all, you're sadly mistaken. And I think you would agree. But it's
Yeah, that's never been like an expected thing for me. I don't expect people to like come and have a drink with me.
no, never.
And I don't think people expect that of me either.
No.
But it is kind of like, oh, let's go, if we're going out, maybe be like group of ladies, maybe we have a mimosa or something,
Yeah.
so yes, that like takes it off the table.
Yeah. But if you, again, if you think that it's impossible to go have a good time, wrong.
Yeah, no, that
So
is
wrong.
totally wrong. Yeah. But I will say there is a time where you're going to have to get through it and
Yeah.
not in a like, oh, I got to get through this kind of a way, in like this like,
the
no, you
producer
don't
Daniel
need,
awkward smile face.
yes,
Yeah.
I mean, even right down to dancing. Who's super comfortable going out and dancing in a place without one of these
Yeah.
in hand?
Yep.
Like,
Need some liquid courage for
yes.
some of that.
It's like, okay, people do dance without this.
Yeah.
Like, I may or may not be one of them. Like, I don't,
Cannot
like,
confirm nor
it's not
deny.
something I just like go like hit the dance floor as soon
Nope.
as we walk in somewhere.
I'm not hitting a dance floor with alcohol. Like, you're just not going to catch me out there. I say that though, but like weddings and of course, you all dance to the same songs every wedding that you go to, because it's just like this playlist
Yes.
for a wedding is like set in stone. Very little difference from one to the other. But that is fun. And I will do that.
Yes.
And like when Reagan got married and they didn't have alcohol at their wedding, the best time on the dance floor, participating, watching everybody else. Maddox got out there and danced. And, it is possible to have the time of your life,
Mm-hmm.
literally with, completely sober, no alcohol, not there, not in the picture, not an option. And I don't know if more people need to know that, or I don't know if it's just this false sense of it's necessary to have a good time, because it's not.
Let me tell you what's key to like an event though without alcohol is the DJ.
Oh, absolutely. Yep.
Because this is a pro tip for all you young girls out there, or really this for the moms that have young girls planning weddings. Good grief, get a good DJ and one that will play songs that like people can dance to if
Yes.
they're not hammered.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
like line dancing, the watermelon crawl.
Yes.
Like get somebody out there that the electric slide.
Yeah. Oh,
That
always
will
a wedding
get
hit.
people on the floor.
Yep.
Because it doesn't matter if you're drinking or not drinking. You can do that and it's fun and
Yeah.
nobody feels like, everybody's out on the sideline pointing at them. Like,
Yeah,
no,
no spotlights on you.
everybody's out there. They're having a good time. Gets the kids out there, and then you can move into some other thing. Then throw a line dance back in there.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
there's ways to do it. But if you're playing like rap songs and everybody's sober, that wedding ends pretty early.
Yeah, and you can't be a dry DJ. Like, you got to have a good personality to you. You got to be able to interact with the crowd.
Was the pun intended there?
Yeah, pun intended. I didn't even realize that I said that. Dun-dun-ch.
Yeah.
Maybe Daniel can add that. Dun-dun-ch.
We have a button or something. Don't
It's one of those colors over there. But yeah, just and of course, there's several around here that are great. And
Yeah.
they
Oh, yeah.
they do. Sometimes they'll get out there on the dance floor themselves and participate.
Oh,
And I'm
there's
just
one
like,
guy in
that's next
particular.
level awesome.
There's one guy, you probably know the guy I'm talking about. He hosts events for all the corporations, like
it
Rotary
Philip?
Club.
Is it Philip or Clay? Is it Clay?
No, it's not Clay, but he's a good one
Clay's
too.
great.
Yes.
Clay's
there's,
great.
There's another guy that he's out there with the ladies dancing.
Is it John Krippner?
I don't know.
Dakota Ice Guy?
I don't remember. He's
Coach
a bald
Krippner?
guy.
The Coach Krippner. Yeah,
Okay.
it's Coach Krippner. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
And he's like, he's not over there like shooting shots or
No,
anything.
he's not.
But he will create a good
Environment.
time.
Yes, he will.
And just let everybody have fun. But it doesn't necessarily have to have alcohol involved. He's just good at setting the scene.
Yeah, he was the Night to Shine DJ for. No, I'm sorry. There were two there that night. It was Coach Krippner was on one side of the gym and Philip Kimbrell was on the other side.
Okay.
And Coach Krippner was in charge of like the karaoke station. And this was Tim Tebow's Night to Shine
nice. Okay.
with the special needs and everything.
Yes.
He was having the best time
He's
these
great.
kids. And it was such a cool, like, he set the tone for sure.
Oh yeah.
And he's amazing.
Yeah, we had him at I've been to fundraisers with him, and let me tell you something. Once he gets all the ladies going,
Yep.
and he's dancing, and he's making everybody have a good time, then the raising starts happening.
Yep. Yep. You're right about that.
Yes. So yeah, and it doesn't have to happen. But if you are if you kind of feel like me, like you're in this odd place, like you're not alone. You have to get over the hump of okay, it's just like what I was used to. And like I said, I was never one that was like lost control or, people dragging me places. It was never like that. It just was, it was a crutch.
Yeah.
It was this, the like, I had a glass of wine in my hand, something like that. And I want to get past that. And I mean, I am getting past that. It's just it's just kind of a weird
Just a
time.
little, midlife
Yeah.
transition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm turning into,
Don't say it.
Yeah.
Don't
I
you
don't
say
even
it.
know what I was going to say. It's just
You
like,
were going to say old lady.
maybe.
No.
Yeah,
No.
maybe. However, I mean, I'm all for these sober communities, and really, like our mom's group, that's us. There's a bunch of ladies that are going to be there this year. We're doing all kinds of fun activities, and I mean, of course, none of it's going to involve alcohol.
No.
We're going to be talking about God together. We're going to be doing fun stuff. We have a couple night outs planned, family
It's
night,
gonna be
mom's night out.
Fantastic. I'm looking forward to this semester. That.
It's going to be
Yeah,
fun.
it's gonna
I
be
actually
really
got a
good.
sneak peek of one of our things today.
Uh-oh.
One of our local tire guys is coming
Oh,
to
cool.
educate us mamas. He's like, all you ladies not going to be walking in any mechanic shop anymore, not knowing what the heck they're saying to you. He's like,
I appreciate that.
yes,
I
I'm so
appreciate
excited.
that.
I got a little sneak peek today. It's going to be awesome.
Nice. Okay, so if you're in Habersham, you need to come to Momco on
Momco.
Monday nights
Yep.
at the Torch. What time? 6:30?
It's every other Monday. It's twice a month. Our kickoff is September 8th at 6:30 at the
6:30.
Torch. Yeah. So if you're a local mama.
Come
By
check
the
us
way, we are getting, spread far and wide. I was in Florida with Matt's family, and she was like, I know my doctor's nurse listens to your podcast.
out. Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. Matt's
That
like,
is
well, I think
amazing.
she's from here. I'm like, do not take my
Yeah.
moment.
Shh, you hush.
But yeah, yep. So
That's awesome.
we love you guys. We appreciate you guys. We hope that this content is helpful, and we truly would love your feedback,
Absolutely.
especially on something like this. So
Yes,
I want to know,
please.
where you're at, how do you feel about this time, this trend that's happening?
Do you see it? Do you agree?
Yes.
Yeah. What's your thoughts?
Yeah. Are you seeing it in your your older young kids?
Yeah.
Your 20 somethings. What are they doing? If they're out there boozing it up, don't put them online. Don't tell
Yeah,
about
don't post and tag.
Just kidding. All right. We love you guys. We have missed you guys. We try to, be on here as much as we possibly can. Sometimes we have to skip, but we're back. We love you. We appreciate your listens and your follows. And as you all know, we have one amazing producer. Can't do it without him. Stay Stoked Creative Co. You can find more out about him in the show notes, and we'll have a new newsletter drop here in the next couple of days for September for Wealthy Kids Academy, all things healthy and wealthy financial foundation for your family. And you can find the link for that below as well.
We appreciate you guys. Be blessed.
See ya.